welcome to my channel. My name is Chris. I'm from Kazumi Team Productions, and today this is a tutorial on how to set up a scene on MOHO 12. Um, if you're not new to my channel, please make sure to subscribe to it. I mostly post everything up constantly, almost daily now. So anyway, let's begin. So let's create a quick scene right here. I will just speed along and I will comment when it's necessary to comment. So yeah, I tried to record this earlier, so it seemed like it was um too long of a tutorial. I tried to keep my tutorials short, sweet to the point. Let's go ahead and make this stars now. This is nice brush to work with if you're dealing with a lot of randomized shapes, just like this one. But just remember that too, this creates a lot of points for your scene. So let's create the hill. And I select the dark right now. And go ahead and do something like this. We're gonna create the water. So what I like to do with the water, if I have it inside my scene, it's just to make it dark blue, just like that. So now I will start animating this out. press Control F on the first frame. Then on the register on frame 9, we're gonna also do it. And then for the last frame 19, we're also gonna select the we're gonna freeze the points. Right click everything. Now we're gonna uh, do a cycle. Enter in 16. Then on frame 9, we're gonna go ahead and adjust the points so it just as a random. We're gonna select the points up here, click off here. Select the points again. And just do this at random places. So that when we play it out, it looks like something like this. So now we're gonna create a tree. We're gonna create a box for the trunk. Go ahead and make that square. Just right up here. Just zoom in. Then we're gonna go to add some points. Just for the roots. So now we're gonna put this inside of its own group called tree. Then we're gonna create another vector called loose. Then we're gonna make a oval shape. But before I do that, I'm gonna select the dark green or even select the grass here. Make it a little bit lighter. Let's make it real big. So now we're gonna make a curvature profile. Just create something like this. Then go over here, select the profile tool. You'll see how it increases, puts a pattern on the shape. I don't need it to be 300. That's a lot of curvatures. So we're gonna have something that looks like this. So we're gonna shape the tree now. so that it looks something like this. We're also gonna put a shadow behind it, clip shadow to group, and press OK. Gonna go ahead and make a light now for our tree. Let's put it underneath the leaves, call this lights. We're gonna actually set up the layer now. We're gonna make a glowing effect for lights. So let's select a white color for the shadow and leave everything the same. Then we're gonna wait over to the color palette. Select the yellow. You guys don't have to do this. This is what I do to set up a light. Go over here and make a radial gradient. Then we can make a ball of light. So now I should have something that looks like this, which is pretty neat. But it's a little bit too big, so we're gonna shrink it down. Then we're gonna put this inside of its own group. Call this lights, obviously. Then we're gonna select a um, a different new layer. Call it path. Call. Just whip out uh, the pen tool. And then we're gonna create a sloppy circle around uh, around the light. So it doesn't have to look perfect. That's only because this is gonna be our firefly. So now we're gonna select the lights. And let's put it on its path. And then let's actually merge this a little bit so that it makes a keyframe. Then on 1,000 frames, we're gonna increase the value to about 100. The reason I do that is because I want the light to go around this circle. So we're gonna make a cycle for this. Go ahead and select the first frame, right click it. Then we're gonna select linear. And see if we scrub through this, um, the light is traveling around the path. That's what I want to see. Okay. So now we're going to make a particle effect called the slits. Okay, right before we're gonna put the lights into the particle, I'm gonna set up the particle now. Particle count to 30. Put this down to 0 frames for lifetime. That will actually make sure that the lights don't blink off. Um, as soon as it hits 24 frames. Also up to I'm gonna zero out everything. The last step is just to randomize the playback. Then click on the canvas to get rid of the window. So now we're gonna just move everything that we created into this particle effect. And see now if we play it, it looks like the lights are dancing around this origin point. But let's move it closer to the tree. So we're gonna put it right underneath the leaves. Just like that. That looks nice. Go ahead and make a second, another layer. Sorry. Gonna call the city. We're also gonna create the same thing as with the leaves. So now we're gonna select almost a black color for the city. Go ahead and do something like this. No. Turn on the grid, Control G. Add point, make sure it's sharp. Go ahead and let's set to zoom in on it, just to make it easier for us to see. I'm gonna zoom back out, create the curvature thing again. And sometimes if you see this thing happening where it's all twisted up, all you got to do is just select the pattern that you're using and flip it. And see now it looks like a city. So we're gonna duplicate this, go over here to the original layer, select all the points, then we're gonna drag everything up. And sometimes you got to zoom out just to see what you're doing. I'm gonna move it up and over to the right. We're gonna select almost pure black now. So that when I render this out, it have some depth into it, as you can see here. So I want to add the light underneath this tree here. So I'm gonna create a new vector, call it shadow. Let's get rid of the stroke. Then we're gonna decrease the value of this opacity. And then let's create a soft edge. So we'll go ahead and put it underneath the tree. So now if we play this back, it looks like the firefighters are dancing around the tree now. That's pretty cool. And so the last two steps are gonna be just importing my character from one of my other files. Go over here, import MOHO object, sorry. And wherever your character is, gonna use that. Select her. And if there's the animation inside the layer, we're gonna clear it underneath the versus animation. Clear from layer and press OK. And that will get rid of the keyframes. Let's just go on frame 1 now to set the parsing. Now that we have everything that we have, gonna shrink her down to the right proportion of the tree. Gonna zoom in. And I want cows to be behind the lights. So what I'm gonna do is just drag her in between that tree there, so that she appears to be behind the lights instead of in front of it. So now I'm gonna set up my character the way that she's going to look. And sometimes, with this being so small, it's kind of difficult to do that, to maneuver your characters over to their correct location. Okay, so after that's done, the final step is to zoom in on my character. Let's go ahead and render this. That looks pretty nice. I like the effects of the lights going around the tree. So anyway, let's render this out and let's call it a day. Yeah, I should. I'm gonna make it go up a little bit. So now it looks like the camera's viewing up, which is pretty awesome. So let's save this document. Save it as scene. MOHO 12. Or you can actually name it whatever you want. Let's quickly render this out. For animation and animation tutorials, please click here and subscribe.